What's up, my people? It's your boy, my guy here, back with another video. And today we got the end of Kanye. As we all know, Kanye was going off on Twitter. I don't know what was wrong with him, but let's get straight to the video.
So Kanye West has always been what I would call a polarizing figure, meaning
Okay.
some people hate him and other people love him. And depending on the exact area you're talking about, you can have drastically different people on either side. But
Most,
recently Kanye
most
has been
definitely.
saying and doing things so crazy that even his biggest stans have denounced him, burned their merchandise, and even had to admit that they can no longer hang their hat on the fact that he once made legendary music. It's
Yeah.
no secret that Kanye has always been a wild card,
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
but that was also one of the
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I have mixed feelings with Kanye. When you look at him at an artist standpoint and take away what he's done, obviously in the media, it's like, bro, he's good. He's good. And he's good at what he does when it comes to music. But then outside of it, it's like sometimes, bro, you gotta control it. Like sometimes stuff just needs to be kept to yourself. Um, it's always good to be able to speak your mind, but to a certain extent. All right, and that's just how the world is.
main reasons he was so loved by so many people. His I don't give a damn attitude was refreshing to see from a celebrity, and for him, attention was so obviously a drug that he desired his entire life.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Now, there are many people who believe that Kanye's mother Donda was the one who would keep him in line.
Got a lot of confidence. Come off a little arrogant, even though you're humble and everything. But it'd be important to remember that the giant looks in the mirror and sees nothing.
But at this point, she has been gone for almost 20 years. May she rest in peace. And we've
Dang.
seen all kinds of versions of this man since then. But in the last couple of years in particular, he's gone from like, oh, that's my boy, even though he says some out-of-pocket conspiracy shit from time to time, to being completely indefensible. We all know that Kanye likes to take to Twitter to get his rants off. And so
Yeah.
he went on there and straight up started saying that he loves Hitler.
Uh, See, it's really hard to defend him, bro, when he does stuff like this. It's like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's deeper than what we think. Obviously he has something going on. Um, he probably just needs to like kind of stay away and just refresh, and then when he comes back, he can literally, get back to where he was. Start the whole brand and all that. But I feel like right now, just stay away, relax. You feel me?
He says that Adolf was dripped out, he straight up called himself a Nazi, and continued his very public disdain for Jewish people.
We
Yeah.
know I can't say that. It was a Jewish doctor.
He also took time to show his admiration for P. Diddy of all people, and he would even beg Trump to pardon the and also say that he is a great father to his kids, alluding to the idea that he wishes Sean Combs was his father. And Kanye would even
I don't
release
know.
a hoodie to commemorate the video where P. Diddy whoops Cassie's ass in the hallway of that hotel that looks just like the one she was wearing that day, literally
Wow.
profiting off
You
of
see?
a traumatic, horrible situation in the process. Like, this is a man who has 2 daughters,
I don't
saying
know.
that this sick sack of who abused countless women and men in every way possible should not only be liberated, but celebrated.
I don't know.
I mean, just a couple of years ago, he was saying that Puff was a Fed.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these, all you fake hard niggas, you. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard niggas, you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck because you can't shoot nobody anyway. And the reason why you got talk is because you did it.
I I don't know, man. I don't know. It's really hard. It's really hard to back them with obviously evidence like this. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I really think it's deeper than that. I think it's a mental thing. Um, I really think it's a mental thing. I really think it's a mental thing. I really do. I feel like if he got back to his younger self to where it was more just music and that's it, he'd be good. But I didn't know his mom was kind of a thing for him, so that makes complete sense. But yeah, come on, man. It's like just make music and you know.
Because part of the deal for you to be a do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're gonna go pull my co-car. So y'all niggas shut the fuck about me.
So it's like you never really know what might slip out of
I don't even
Kanye's
know what he's
mouth.
saying.
Oh yeah, he also took time to defend R. Kelly, saying that his beyond creepy marriage to Aaliyah when he was 27 and she was 15 was totally alright. Now in one of his final moves, he would post up a t-shirt with an anti-Jewish symbol, I'm sure you guys can guess what it is, onto his website and sell it for $20 a pop. This is where shit really gets crazy, because he had promoted this website the same day during the Super Bowl.
So what's up, guys?
Oh my God.
I spent like all the money for the commercial on these new teeth. So once again, I had to shoot it on the iPhone.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way he's mentally ill. I'm sorry.
Go to Yeezy.com.
So basically, hundreds of millions of people saw an ad for a Nazi t-shirt. What Kanye did was the old bait and switch, because when the ad originally aired, the site had normal clothing on it, but after the ad aired, he made it to where this was the only item available.
Wow.
With the SKU being labeled HH, which many people now infer to mean hail, well, you know who. That all
My
tells me
gosh.
that this was his plan the entire time. He so clearly loves playing the card where he tries to draw up controversy to promote his latest work. In this case, it seems to be an AI album that he's releasing called Bully. But the thing is, over time he's had to do and say crazier and crazier shit to garner the same amount of attention. And now this once billionaire who had the world in his hands has become the boy who cried wolf. Like honestly, no one gives a dude. Like even your biggest fans are ashamed of this shit. They can no longer twist and turn the narrative enough to even try and defend it. I mean, when you got the Kanye Reddit saying that Kim was right to keep the family away, that's how you know he's almost completely lost them. Like they're burning their Kanye shit.
Man, it's hard, bro.
And I just don't get why ruin your legacy to spew conspiracy theory and nonsense. This
Like I
was
said,
one
it's
of
a
the
mental
most
thing.
influential people on the planet. He was becoming infinitely powerful with his clothing line and his
He was.
music and his shoes, and he was getting all this influence and all this wealth, and then you just throw it all down the drain. It just makes you look like an out of control dumbass.
Them Yeezys was tough, man. Like when he was on top with them Yeezys, man, they was crazy. And I just don't know. I really think it's a mental thing. It's deeper than what we look at it. Yeah, he can just be spewing nonsense on the internet. I really feel like it's really a mental thing. I really feel like he may be going through it. And people go through it, and no matter how rich you are, which for me was hard to understand. It was hard for me to understand, like you have all this money, you have all this motion and this legacy, and for some reason it's hard. Some people go through it, and that's all I can really say. It's a deeper thing. It's something mentally. It's something mentally, and he may just have to stay away from the internet. He may just have to. I feel like that might be his best bet, and to focus on things that make him happy rather than um because the stuff he's saying is just not something you just say because you really care. You know what I mean?
And the funniest part to me was while saying all this diabolical shit for days at a time on Twitter, Elon Musk had absolutely no problem. He didn't suspend the account. I would actually argue that he was boosting up these tweets because he knows more and more people will come over to Twitter to see the crash out, and he wouldn't take any action at all until Kanye straight up started posting hardcore adult videos right onto the timeline for his millions of followers to see. And that's when Kanye's account went from being limited to being deleted altogether. And thankfully, Shopify also removed his store after around a day, and likely he will not receive any profits from the sale of that shirt. I mean, don't get it twisted, guys. All this shit from the adult content to defending P. Diddy to the blatant racism is not shit that should be spread on this scale by someone with the influence of Kanye. I'm just not surprised at all that Elon would let all this other shit slide because he most likely agrees with a lot of it. But hey, I guess corn is where he draws the line. It's been no secret that Kanye has an addiction to adult videos. He has talked about it on national TV.
Do you feel like your attitude towards women has changed since having daughters?
Nah, I still look at Pornhub and blacked is my favorite category.
There were videos that proved he was forcing Adidas executives to watch adult videos of Kim on the clock at his request.
There's no way. Come on. There's no There's absolutely no way. There's no way. There's no way he did that. There's no way he did that. Wow.
Does he sound like his voice sounds similar? The voice sounds similar.
Did you have a meeting with Adidas and you played
Yeah,
porno?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Oh, no,
like,
definitely
check it out. What's your
okay.
perspective on that? And I'll tell you mine.
And it's been long rumored that he has
Wow.
straight up Korn playing on a non-stop loop while he is working on music or anything else creative, no matter who is around.
Watching Star Wars on this big screen, and as I started talking about a song, he switched on anal sex.
I mean, a decades-long
Wow.
addiction to lust cannot be good for anyone, and I do think
Yeah,
this
he's
has
not there
factored into
mentally.
his demise.
The fact that I was married to this beautiful person, but I felt like it wasn't enough. I felt like I still needed to look at pornography.
And it also really makes me think that this addiction is likely the reason for his initial infatuation with Kim Kardashian. After all, the whole reason she became famous was her viral tape with Ray J,
Wow.
something Kanye has admitted to watching many times. I mean, y'all have to understand that back when it came out, I believe that it made more money than any adult video ever. And so if Kanye saw her as like the top P-star in the world, well, of course he's gonna want that. And if you need further proof that this has
Wow.
always been his crutch, Kanye himself has even noted that finding his dad's Playboy magazine at age 5 permanently altered him, and has in turn led to every one of his decisions, both good or bad, much like a butterfly effect.
Like for me, Playboy
It's a mental thing.
was
He's not
my
mentally there.
gateway into full-on addiction. My dad had a Playboy left out at age 5, and it's affected almost every choice I made for the rest of my life from age 5.
Understand that this interview was conducted 5 years ago when Kanye was making his album Jesus is King.
New album. Jesus is King is the name of the album.
Yes.
At that time, he was denouncing not only adult content, but also other prevalent themes in his music
Wow.
publicly, like drugs and lust.
That Playboy magazine that I found when I was 5 years old have an effect on my music. It could never be 100% everything it could be, because I had to add that in, always.
I heard you
What?
say with your pastor that you felt like you were making devil's music.
Yeah, because you're such a fucking, oh, I love it. Excuse me, Christian scorecard down a little bit, cursing some more.
Saying that Korn should be banned altogether. Then a couple of years later, when he and Kim would get divorced, he would rant that she was trying to turn his daughters into Playboy models, saying that
What?
they should not even be allowed to be on TikTok. And now you fast forward to the current time, and he's been parading around his mute wife for the last 2 years,
Yeah.
while she wears literally nothing. Like
Yeah.
a woman with a saran-wrapped naked body with 3 crackers to her name would have more clothing on than her. And Kanye himself even said that his
Dude.
next big move was to start the biggest adult video company on the planet. So
Wow.
in short, the guy is a massive hypocrite who was
Wow. And I was sitting here trying to like, I'm sitting here trying to critique it, and it's like, bro, it makes sense. It makes sense, bro. He uses his now wife as a doll. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. There's no way his team doesn't know the truth or doesn't get like he's not fully mentally there. Um and this man, and it's not like I'm trying to say he's, this man's smart. He's a genius. When he's a true genius at what he does in his work of art and music, but it's like he's just not there. Like he's just not, man.
speak passionately about whatever he believes at that moment, even when it completely contradicts some of his previous statements.
It's not just sexual. That term actually relates to torture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like watching people beat each other up on World Star or something.
And as ironic as it sounds, I think the dude who so many consider to be one of the most influential
That's
artists
crazy.
of our time is actually too easily influenced, and his ideology has become so black and white that he has begun to come off as more of a shock value caricature of his previous self than anything else.
Literally.
Personally, I do not feel bad for this guy at all. I feel like he's actually had more chances than he really deserved
He has,
because
he
people
has.
loved his music and his
He has.
personality. But now even all of that sucks. His biggest fans hate his last album Vultures 2, they hate the idea of him bringing AI into mainstream music, and overall he's pretty much completely washed up from a personality standpoint, artistically, and even logically. We talked previously last year about
crazy.
his alleged horrible addiction to nitrous oxide,
Ryan Garcia, this I'm on the nitrous.
and how this evil is the one supplying him, allegedly that is. So I'm sure that also has something to do with the deterioration of his mind, but overall, I feel like this guy is really out of excuses. And just like many others out there, he's always liked to blame his downfalls on other people. It was Kim's fault for the divorce. It was the media who made him look crazy. It was the media who ruined his family. It was the media who took down his empire. Nah, it couldn't have been any of his bad decisions. It couldn't have been him constantly running his and being the biggest brand risk literally on earth. There's so many people out here who run around doing this exact same shit. And to me, that's how you end up in a situation where you are spiraling out of control and you're surrounded by either no one because you burnt all your relationships already, or all that's left around you is yes men. But either way, it's obviously not good. And the people I really feel bad for are the huge Kanye fans. I mean, Jesus. This has literally been the definition of a crash out. Below, also.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough. Yeah, I I I have nothing to say. Kanye did ruin a lot. He ruined he messed up a lot. I don't know if he's I don't know. I don't know. But W video, W vid.